Well, I tried to dress up a little bit because of Easter. Now, my brother, who's a priest, says Easter is the day that the tomb is empty. That on Easter Monday, every exhausted priest crawls into that empty tomb to sleep. Anyway, so actually I shouldn't look too bad yet because we're pre-recording this. In any case, I really hope your Holy Week has been richly blessed. And for anyone who knows any kind of heartache at Easter, empty place at table perhaps, I just pray that you will be sustained by that great Easter promise that love is forever. And that you're not alone because you're not. A gospel question: what does Easter sound like for you this year? What does Easter sound like? Thanks so much for joining. It means a lot to me. Some of our younger folks have probably never listened to music out of something called a CD. Yes, boys and girls, believe it or not, music used to come out of something that looked like this. Just ask your great-great-grandparents. Now, older people like me used to also listen to music out of something called a record or a record album. Holding this, I suddenly feel accidentally retro. Now, and if you're really ancient, well, then maybe you listen to music out of a 45 or even an 8-track. All of that brings me to the wonderful gift of music and how I think it's fair to say that sometimes our lives could be compared to music. I mean, are there not times for each of us when there's a certain flow or harmony in our living, right? The changes of pace that life throws at us still kind of ultimately come together in a rhythm. The differing voices and elements of our lives weave their way into harmony and melody. I'm convinced that if we are people who try to be aware and awake as we make our way through our days, there is a certain music to our living that we can begin to notice and to savor. I mean, these are the times when we are awake enough to, appreciate a moment with our families. And I mean, to notice that we're appreciating it, to be aware of being aware that we're there, right? Or perhaps that's a day or a time when we feel pretty good physically or emotionally, and we acknowledge how nice that feels. Or maybe there's a while when we can kind of more deeply believe that our lives matter, that we have our place in this world. Or perhaps we just remember for a moment or two the blessing it is to have a friend, or a teammate, or a spouse, or a colleague. I mean, yes, there is sometimes the dissonance of the imperfections and crises. Sometimes the tempo changes. Sometimes a few of the instruments get a bit out of tune. But ultimately, the various elements of our lives flow together like music. It is important that we enjoy the music of our regular daily living and take time to cherish those people who bring song into our world. We need to savor them now because for each of us, the melodies of our lives can not only be altered, they can sometimes be suddenly and profoundly shattered. Our world can be changed in a blink, can it? The bad news visits us in big ways and small. I mean, sometimes we see it coming, sometimes it just comes out of nowhere. Perhaps it's that call from the police department telling us to come to the hospital. Maybe it's when we begin to realize that relationship is over. We wonder if it was ever really real. We find we no longer have a job. Perhaps it's the look in the doctor's eyes when he says, "I'm sorry." The news comes in countless ways, but when it does, it can leave us feeling as if our entire world has been shattered. It is as if the music of our lives is silenced. Life is suddenly and forever changed. And we might wonder how we could ever go on. Or sometimes maybe if we would even want to. Such was the silence of Good Friday. Make no mistake about it. The death of Jesus was a shattering. As the body of Jesus was broken on the cross and his blood poured out, it was as if music itself was killed. For his mother Mary, the silence was deafening. This was the baby boy she used to hold in her arms and to whom she'd sing lullabies. Now, a man tortured on a cross until he dies. At night, Mary tosses and turns. Through the day, she suddenly finds herself again sobbing. There is no song. There is only the dark emptiness of heartbreaking pain. It's a sleepless, broken-hearted night for the other disciples too. The next morning there's Peter standing outside the tomb, punching on the stone until he collapses, weeping. The world has gone horribly wrong. Mary and the other disciples each know the deafening silence of all whose lives have been shattered. And when the shattering comes to us, we try to pick up the broken pieces and somehow to try to make the music happen again, right? But we can't. We just can't make everything okay. And I hate that. But the wonder of Easter is that we don't have to. The stunning news of Easter is that in the love which raised Jesus from the dead, the song can continue. The silence of Good Friday yields the beautiful song of Easter. In the resurrection of Jesus, a new song emerges from the shattered pieces. My friends, the resurrection of Jesus changes everything for us. I mean, yes, for us, at those times, the music has changed. We sing now in a different key, usually, right? But Easter tells all of us whose lives have been touched by death that we can trust that the song of our loved ones will continue on in a life beyond what we can see. And that even now their song surrounds us somehow. All those for whom life feels flat without joy, you have reason to hope that peace and meaning, a sense of meaning, will return. You have it in you to one day laugh and sing again. You do. And those who have been victims of others' selfish or even horrible choices, I'm so sorry. Yet nothing silences your life's song. Your precious worth, your deep down goodness, the song of your life has not been taken from you or diminished. And no matter how badly we've messed up, we are more than our sins. We can sing a new lyric now in a different key. No, even our most crushing blows cannot silence the song that God sings in this world. Life's crises and heartaches visit us all. And when they do, we can't make it all okay. The world will never be the same. But the God who, in Jesus, has taken on our every suffering, has been raised from the dead. Not even death can silence God. And through the sometimes broken pieces of our lives, the song of God's love continues. Our God sings love always. Our God sings love right now. It is the stunning gift of Easter.